Yeah, I love that story. I mean, there's so many stories that you share in the book, and that he has shared with between the skateboarding and the
This
wrestling, and it's like all these like unique things that you would think. And then the one story you had in the book about the kids playing outside, and then he like got hurt or fell or something like that, and inside the story. I mean, to your point, there were so many different examples in between his book and your book of
right.
Nick doing crazy things. But the one that was nuts was when he said he's going to cut off his arm, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Before we go into like Nick a little bit later in life, and for you to kind of experience, some of these transformations, between the zombie stuff and going into, that chapter of life. I had one of the questions. This was the question that my wife asked.
Oh, right.
That I'm glad she asked me, because her and I have had conversations around this of people looking, like if we're out and about as a
Oh, the
family, and
staring.
the staring, right?
Ah,
So like James, my son, is on a ventilator. He has oxygen support, and it's not a forever thing. It's just where we're at right now. So sometimes like a little kid might come up and be like, what's wrong with him? Or, like a little kid. And the parent will come and be like, don't be rude. Don't do that. And
oh yeah, they'll grab
you
them
know
and drag them away. Yeah.
yeah, and my wife, she has her opinions on it, and I'm very interested on, like, from your lens, like if you
Mhm.
had any tips for people who, parents who don't know what to say or how to approach, a situation where, if Nick is unique in his own way, right? And
Yeah.
a kid is curious, or a parent is like, I don't want to say they're staring, but they're curious. Like,
Sure.
what is the best way for someone to approach their curiosity, or to invoke conversation, or induce some sort of
Okay.
reciprocation where it's not awkwardly
Mm,
staring, and it's also not
sure.
hushing the kid? Like, I don't know. Do you have some
Yes,
wisdom to impart
I
on this,
do.
please?
Um, okay, for our situation, I made sure that when we were out and people were staring at him, that I looked at them or Nick looked at them and said hi, because who wouldn't ever say hi back? And then kind of kept ourselves open, inviting them in if they wanted to ask questions. Kind of having that openness, like that welcoming, like hi, inviting them in. Um, if if someone didn't want to, they would just turn
Look
away,
away.
right?
Oh, sorry, I
Turn
got caught. I got caught in
away,
staring.
right? So if you know, I'm sure it happened to you. It really depended on what kind of mood I was in that day. I'll be honest, right? So if I'm having a great day and I'm open, it's like I, your body language will invite someone in. But I didn't have every day wasn't a great day, and I wasn't nice some days where I'd be like, really? And, I would turn my back. And that's like closing that opportunity. But I think if you are open and we wanted, I'd rather little kids come up to Nick and ask him questions. And from a young age, because Nick noticed people staring at him, I would lean over and still be able to see that person and say, Nick, say hi. And he'd wave, hi,
Hmm.
you know, and little children would be curious, like, where's your arm or where's your hand? And we just taught Nick to say, oh, I don't have that. I was born this way. So it's all in the preparation, but
What about for the other family? Like, instead of staring, what's considered appropriate is really my curiosity. It's like, is it appropriate? It's not appropriate to stare, but is it appropriate to, like,
okay,
compliment, like come over and say,
yes,
wow, he is so cute. Look at your cute
beautiful,
little
right?
hat.
Oh, what a
What a
beautiful
beautiful
little boy.
kid.
What a beautiful
Is that
smile. Yeah, I think if you wanted to approach someone and you're staring because there is a unique or different situation and you're curious, because who isn't? I would think that you would approach in in a compassionate way, like, oh, He's so beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful dress she has on. Lead with the compliment or something nice, and that person will open up to you. And then you're
Yeah.
able to,
And you could still get to stare. You get to stare, but you get a closer look, right? And I'm
you
just
get a
kidding.
closer, yeah. And then what are you going to see? A beautiful soul, a beautiful child, a beautiful person. You need to look inside.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's what my wife said, and that's why she wanted me to capture that from you too, because that the two of you are aligned with that, and that's what she's taught me. Because I'm like, I don't care, let them stare, whatever. She's like, no, there's an appropriate way, and it's like, because I don't know what to do. If I see someone I'm curious, I'm like, what is the best way for me to engage in conversation with them to like not only satisfy my curiosity, but also make them feel significant. Like, what's the appropriate way for me to be able to help validate someone, but also satisfy my curiosity? And that's where it's like giving that compliment. Wow, what a beautiful, wow, you're adorable, or like, something like that. So I was naive to that, and I figured maybe there's a listener who is naive to that too. Biggs, let me kick it to you. I know you're curious on the next chapter.
Yeah, of course. So, and first off, I just love again, everything I'm picking up from you, Stacey, is just like, yeah, we just treated Nick like one of the other kids, and
yeah,
he's the of the world, and it's like someone's looking, you say hi, right? And like you socialized him, just like you would want to socialize every other child, and it's amazing how often kids these days don't know how to interact with adults, don't know how to sit down at a restaurant and order politely and do whatever. They're on their iPads, they got their headphones on at the restaurant. I'm like, what are we teaching these kids? And you did the exact opposite. So, I'm curious, watching Nick get into the world and now watching some of his success. I'm really curious, and I know there's lots of chapters. We probably can't get into every single one, but I'm curious, like, what's it been like as a mother to watch him step into the world and to go from victim to victor, to become an author, to become a speaker, to become a personality that people know? What's it been like for you? I mean, obviously, I'm sure that you're extremely proud.
Absolutely.
And feel free to gush about him. But also, like, what's it been like to watch this? And I'm curious from your side.
Sure. So, since Nick was born, I mean, just newly born, and then we introduced him to our community through our mayor because we weren't going to hide Nick. He's been changing lives since he's born. To see him grow up and give his gift to the world is incredible, and I'm super proud of him. But the most important thing, like, he does all these great things, and you can ask him. I'll call him or I'll talk to him, and he'll say, yeah, Mom, I did a podcast. Oh, I did a speaking event here. And I'm proud. I'm proud of all my kids. But the most important thing, and I'll say to him, okay, great, but are you happy? Because my goal for all my children is do great things, do little things, but in all things, just be happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I even still today I'll call him, like, he'll yeah, we just did this, and and he's traveled all the world and doing great, and I'm proud, very proud. His dad, his siblings, we're all proud. But I still always say, that's great. Are you happy? Like, are you happy?